We've been living on a rock. There's a Batman controversy going on, and it's a really interesting one. So I want to talk about it. The James Gunn DC universe has its own Batman. That's who is not Robert Pattinson. It's going to be a new actor, a different actor, and law-wise, this Batman has been operating for 15 years already. It's that's something we might get him in Clayface, but we'll see. We're going to get the very first introduction of this Batman in the DCU with the release of the Batman movie Brave and Bold. It's not in development yet, as far as we know. We just got some new details about it, which is why the controversy is ongoing, and that's the whole thing about it. It's not coming in 2027 for sure because Batman Part 2 is already there, and we'll see. So, anyways, what's the controversy is the Batman part is going to be done by the same team as Flash. The screenwriter of the Batman Preamble, she on her resume has The Flash and Birds of Prey, two horrible movies, and she's going to write the Batman movie. And Andy Muschietti, who directed The Flash, is the director for this movie. And it came from a very trustworthy report, and James Gunn so far hasn't denied anything, so that's probably true, which is the whole controversy about. You Batman is what Spider-Man is to Marvel, their biggest cash cow. You cannot mess up this character at all. He is their biggest character. He's Spider-Man. If you any Spider-Man movie will make bank, he is the most popular guy in for Marvel. And for DC, that character is Batman, so you cannot mess up his movies. Because if Batman movies flop, then DC's fault. It's fault. So you have to get the probably the best Batman script possible to have this character. It's probably the coolest character of all time, and you're giving him the director of Flash and the team of Flash. It's not a good idea, and it's really interesting because we're going to have two different actors actively working on Batman. So there's going to be Robert Pattinson and a new actor. Both are going to go simultaneously. It's going to be live action, and it can be confusing. But for example, we have live action Spider-Man this year with Brand New Day, and next year we have Beyond the Spider-Verse. They are operating on their own, but the live action one has Peter Parker and the animated one has Miles Morales. So they're different, and this both mediums are different. One is live action, one is animation. Here both are live action, and I think like the Batman from Robert Pattinson will be more focused on detective stuff, and this will be more focused on supernatural. So that'll be interesting. So that's the controversy. We are the team behind Flash working on this movie, but I do think it's people are over exaggerating because I don't trust James Gunn. I like everything, all the work he has done, and I do believe that he probably whatever he has done is good for good reason. Because I like Superman a lot, so I do trust his work. And I do hope we get proper writers for this movie because you cannot mess this character up. You cannot. He is the most important character in DC. Anyways, so that's one controversy. Now comes another one. I would it's not a big controversy, but Sam Raimi in a recent interview said that he likes Batman and he would like to direct a Batman movie. Not necessarily directly, but he at one point tried to direct but never got the rights to it. He likes the character and he could never do it. So yeah, and of course, in direct reactions, people want him to direct because no one wants the director of Flash to direct the Batman movie. No, that's not a good resume. Sam Raimi, who directed Spider-Man trilogy and has a ton of horror movies to his name, and Batman and horror can go really well. The only horror movie of Sam Raimi I watched was Drag Me to Hell, and I was kind of young, I think like 15, and that movie scared me really badly. The ending of that movie was horrifying, and that movie was PG-13. Still, it showed a lot of disturbing imagery. In Doctor Strange 2, another example, it's not a good movie, but it had a lot of it really pushed the limits of PG-13 in terms of horror. There were a lot of scenes that will straight up traumatize kids who are like young. So he knows how to write horror scenes. Even Spider-Man 2 has like this horror scene with tentacles. So he knows how to do horror, and a character like Batman can go really cool with a horror director. That's that's something. And just Sam Raimi is really passionate about superhero movies because you go on interviews and all directors go, they're boring, they're not cinema, and here he is. He wants more of them, and that's a cool attitude to have for superhero movies. So, and this news has reached James Gunn because someone has been spamming his Instagram over and over, and he replied to not spam. So, my personal thoughts are it's we're gonna see what happens. I do hope Sam Raimi gets some sort of movie or role, director role in the DCU if it's not Batman, because I think there are some really cool horror characters in DC which he could direct. Because they are releasing Clayface this year, I think. So they are clearly going towards a more horror genre. So like Evil Dead, I didn't watch, but Drag Me to Hell was something. That movie, okay. So he knows his stuff, is what I'm saying. And even Andy Muschietti, there were like six people behind the Flash. I don't blame him for how atrocious that movie was. That movie is not good in under any measure. Visuals are horrifying. Even the writing was horrible of that movie. Like people defend its writing, I don't think so. Writing is horrible as well. That it's all over the wall, and this I can talk about in a whole other video about the Flash. And but again, there were like six people, and the actor was undergoing controversy, and it has been in development for 10 years. So I don't blame him. Just like how Sam Raimi was given a horrible script for Doctor Strange 2, same happened with Andy Muschietti, who was given a terrible script with The Flash, and he did the best with what he could. I guess so. Because interviews say a lot, because you're supposed to do your job, you cannot really go because okay, I'm just going on some nonsense. So, anyways, thanks for listening. I do hope that we get a good director and good story team behind the Batman Beyond Board, because also there's likely to be a comparison between Batman Part 2 and Beyond Board. Part 2 has like the stackiest cast ever. You have Sebastian Stan, Scarlett Johansson, and Robert Pattinson, and that's the hydrogen bomb, and the upcoming baby that's Beyond Board. That would be not good. So, thanks for listening. Bye.